So, today we are going to do a little discussion on the notorious Target data breach, which many also like to label this as the 2013 breach that impacted over 40 million shoppers. The impact of this breach is still being felt presently as Target continues to struggle repaying its debts and dealing with the countless legal fees that still hit them today. Next, let's go into a little bit of a history. So we'll talk about a brief history of the Target Corporation. Target was founded by George Dayton under the name of Dayton's Department Store in 1902. By 1962, the Target brand was created in Minneapolis, where the current Target headquarters still lies today. Target currently holds the title as America's second largest general merchandise retailer, also owning business locations in Canada and India as well. Target has about 1,829 stores to date and 39 distribution centers with close to 500,000 employees. Target recently had a reported revenue of $69.5 billion and attracts approximately 1.2 million online shoppers daily. Now let's go into a little bit about what happened in this breach. With Target being such a major retailer, one can imagine how hard it is to prevent data breaches. In 2013, 40 million consumers were impacted by a global-wide data breach while shopping Black Friday weekend. Cyber attackers were able to gain access to Target's computer gateway, which was served through credentials stolen from a third-party vendor in November of 2013. Attackers gained access to a customer service database in which they installed malware on the system, and as a result they were able to capture full names, phone numbers, email addresses, payment card numbers, credit card verification codes, and other crucial and sensitive data. How did this happen is the main question that we want to analyze today. Hackers accessed a third-party vendor called Fazio Mechanical, which is a major refrigeration vendor company. This all started simply after one Fazio employee became a victim of an email phishing attack that allowed access for a Citadel Trojan to impact all of the company-owned computers. This dangerous malware obtained sensitive login information. Fazio Mechanical had a free version of the Enterprise Anti-Malware Protection Program. Since it wasn't a paid version, real-time malware protection was not in use, and the Trojan slipped through the cracks unnoticed. So now let's talk a little bit about the Citadel Trojan. It was developed by Mark Vartanian, who is a notorious Russian hacker who helped devise a plan to develop and sell the Trojan. Mark did this simply for profit, and was eventually tracked down by US authorities when FBI members secretly became partners in the testing process. This Trojan has already infected over 11 million users since its start. It's based upon the malware program Zeus, which is another banking Trojan alternative. The malware targets credentials stored in password managers and stores the info. This Trojan is notorious for breaching KeePass, password safe, and Nexus security systems. Let's continue a little bit more on how it happened again. Once the login information and system portals were obtained through Citadel, attackers found which portal to corrupt and staged the internal network attack. The hackers bypassed a number of the company's internal Windows servers. Target has yet to disclose the method used. A theory suggests an attack cycle chronicled in the Mondiant's APT-1 report, also known as a report from an American cybersecurity firm, documenting evidence of cyber attacks targeting at least 141 organizations as far back as 2006. A Trojan.POSRAM was then used to affect Target's point-of-scale system, also known as POS. So, what is the Trojan.POSRAM malware and how was it used? The Trojan.POSRAM malware is based on a code called BlackPOS and was dubbed by investigators as an operation called Kartosha, a POS malware which compromises payment systems. Kartosha is a type of memory scraping malware which was believed to be used in the Target attack. Kartosha, which is also Russian slang for potato, has also been named the potato malware. The tool monitors memory address spaces used in payment application programs where the magnetic strip of a card is swiped. In most cases, there is a brief point during the payment authorization process when the payment card data is stored unencrypted in the random access memory. At this point, Kartosha can access and copy sensitive consumer information. Every 7 hours, the Trojan checks if the time is between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. If true, A WinXML.dll is sent over a temporary net BIOS share and accessed on a dump server, where it can be transported over via remote file transfer protocol methods. The parts used were over TCP ports 139, 443, or port 80. In 2014, Cartosha, or Trojan.Posram, had a 0% detection rate and has been identified as one of the most scalable and sophisticated malware instances in history. Once this data was received, it was sold all over the digital black market simply for profit. So, what did Target do to prevent another attack? Target hired Verizon security experts to probe their networks in an effort to combat future attacks. Target was able to improve monitoring and logging of their system activity, along with improvements of rules regarding firewalls and policies in place. They also made sure there was limited or completely eliminated most third-party vendor access to their infrastructure. 445,000 Target employees and contractor accounts were either disabled, reset, or experienced reduced privileges. They also introduced two-factor authentication and password vaults. And on top of that, provided employee training on the importance of password rotation to prevent future hacks. So, what was the damage? 40 million consumers were impacted. This, as a total, costed Target approximately $202 million in damage. Recently, in 2017, Target finally settled most claims made by 47 states and the District of Columbia, in which Target will pay out $18.5 million. California won the largest settlement with a total of $1.4 million. They also made a new rule in which they must appoint an executive to inspect a comprehensive information security program and determine consumer settlements. So, what can we learn as a consumer from this? We can learn to continuously monitor our credit and debit card purchases. We can learn how to avoid opening phishing emails, and we can also learn how to discard physical documents through shredding. Because after all, these attacks aren't necessarily only cyber, as also physical documents could be stolen by criminals. It's pretty clear that we've discussed how programming was used to determine the breach, how databases were impacted in the breach, how better software could have been used to prevent the breach, and how networking was used to complete the breach. This report is brought to you by Kevin and Natalie, and my boy Andrew in the background. Thanks for watching.